From the ancient times to this era, the caste discrimination still takes place in our Indian society. We can say that caste system has been deep-rooted in this country. Respected Satya Garu is the president of this Ask Educational Society. So as a part of his payback to the society, he has developed this center to educate the society about the philosophy of anti-caste.
ఆస్క్ ఎడ్యుకేషనల్ సొసైటీ ఒక సంస్థ ప్యాక్పెట్. ఈ ఆస్క్ ఎడ్యుకేషనల్ సొసైటీకి నేను జనరల్ సెక్రటరీగా పనిచేస్తున్నాను. ఈ భారతదేశం లోపల యాంటీ కాస్ట్ ఫిలాసఫీ అనేది స్టూడెంట్స్కు ఖచ్చితంగా టీచ్ చేయాల్సిన అవసరం ఉందని చెప్పి ఈ ఆస్క్ ఎడ్యుకేషనల్ సొసైటీ భావించి ఒక సెంటర్ని ఏర్పాటు చేయడం జరిగింది. పూలే అంబేద్కర్ సెంటర్ ఫర్ ఫిలాసఫికల్ అండ్ ఇంగ్లీష్ ట్రైనింగ్.
He strongly believes that anti-caste, which means equality, is possible in India when the caste is completely uprooted. By keeping this strong belief in practice, the PACPET is established.
Mahatma Phule Ambedkar Philosophical and English Training Center is part of the larger Amruta Satya Pulluri Educational Society. Now, the idea for which the society was formed is to establish educational institutions, perhaps in future from a school upwards into a college. But this present Phule Ambedkar Philosophical and English Training Center, where Dr. Balaboyna Sudarshan is the director and Manikanta is the coordinator. They are training students, young activists, both in the philosophy of Phule Ambedkar and English. This we thought is very important because in the whole of India, in the growth context of right-wing ideology, Phule Ambedkar thought is the only alternative that can keep people in their own zones as a liberated people. And then they can also liberate the rest of the oppressed working productive masses. Now, what we have seen in the last 4 batches, particularly the 4th batch, which is exclusively meant for concepts, philosophy and English, is that young girls and boys from all over India applied. For just 40 seats, 225 people applied, and then the faculty here selected them with personal talk. And then we realized after they came here, all of them came with seriousness. Now, while going from the institute after 1 month rigorous training, from morning physical exercise to newspaper reading to classroom discussions and text reading and so on, they have really shaped up.
Institution, we teach the students 3 important areas of a syllabus. So the one is a fundamental thing. So most of the women and the marginalized communities are suffering with English language skills to build their career. So their career become very nightmare because of the education system which we have these days in India, as well as in Telangana also. So for that reason, in the syllabus we put English language skill training enhancement program. So and then after the second important thing, so because of the caste and patriotic character of the Indian society, we want to propagate the idea of anti-caste philosophy. And the third thing, so to understand the wisdom of one man, so there is a need of certain kind of conceptual training. So for that reason, we teach our students basically 6 important conceptual perspectives from various dimensions. So the one is to understand what actually the nature of Indian state, and then after freedom or the liberty, and then after rights, nationalism, democracy, and the gender sensitization. So while students are going through these kind of socio-political concepts, they simply can understand what actually the philosophical foundations of Mahatma Jyotirao Phule and Baba Saheb Ambedkar.
This institution fundamentally believes that there is a second round of revolution is necessary in the Indian society, and that can be achieved through social revolutionary practices.
So you see, actually, there are some sort of the false notions which are constructed by Brahminical society, that so on nationalism actually. So on the nationalism, this false kind of notions has constructed. So to dismantle the Brahminical values, to dismantle the Brahminical notions in the contemporary younger generations, this education is giving lot of understanding, perspectives, especially understanding this Indian society, understanding politics, understanding media, understanding gender bias, understanding education system, understanding academics. So to understand all the things which are concerned with the human life, will be looking to that from the Phule Ambedkar's perspective.
The understanding of the symbols of unfreedom as living past. It gives us different ideas and meanings.
Jai Bhim. So, this place, Phule Ambedkar Philosophical and English Training Center, this place has some sort of, counter symbols or counter ideological project that we undertake. Now, what does that mean when you use a word counter? What does that mean generally? Right. So, for example, for every hostel rooms where boys and girls where they stay, we have named those rooms with the anti-caste leaders, anti-caste thinkers, right from Savitribai Phule, Fatima Sheikh, Pandita Ramabai, Chakali Ailamma, Komarambi, Muddam Singh, Ayoti Das, Periyar, and a number of people. Now we have also named the gym as KD Jadhav, who is the first Dalit Olympian in the country. Now this has some meaning. Now when you invoke symbols, right, or when you invoke some sort of projects which can act as a counter-hegemonic project, now this has some meaning, and this symbol is probably to give a history or to present a history to the marginalized sections across the caste, to say that look, this is your history, and these are your inspiring fellows who have fought day and night. And also the symbols would always give some courage when, for example, if you do not have a symbol, if you do not have a history, probably your existence would also mean nothing in the current scenario, because symbols, what do you call, the history, larger history making is sort of always made and remade, and through that identities are made. So I think in that context, when we say that we are in the Phule Ambedkarite movement, for us the symbols becomes a much more important way, and that's the reason we, in this entire campus, we have few paintings where it juxtaposes. I mean, the situation in the Manusmriti, it juxtaposes with the people being in the Constitution of India, or that period, and what does this anti-caste philosophy, or the two radical texts, especially Gulamgiri and annihilation of caste, what does that mean, right? What are those different principles that the anti-caste philosophy generally talks? I think as a place, I mean, as being in a university setup, I especially have seen such symbols, and I have lived through those symbols by invoking them in my everyday life, probably. And now being in Phule Ambedkar, this PACPET center, probably having these symbols alongside the teaching, the regular teaching, is something we take it as a the continuous project, because for us teaching doesn't mean that it comes from a very textbookish way, method of teaching. For us, teaching means looking at symbols, looking at music, looking at protest forms, looking at films, looking at media, looking at television, looking at oral history, looking at a larger philosophical text, every aspect, right? So this, when we bring together, then probably it has some organic meaning when you have a method. And probably people say that if you think, you become mad. Yes, so there is a method to this madness of teaching that we inculcate. And probably the aspect of governmentality, which we have to decode. Basically, if you could think about, again, governmentality is not about the the state art, or the art of state that disciplines someone, or that regulates someone, but it is also about that power and culture which generally sort of have to be rethinked always when we are being